So,
Star Wars Celebration.
Yep.
One of the biggest geek conventions, aside from Comic-Con, D23, all those other conventions that seem to happen throughout the year went on over the past weekend, and we're here to basically talk about what we liked and what we didn't like, and some of the big reveals and some of the stuff that they kind of left out that we all expected to see.
should we dive right into the big deep end of the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Well,
what?
we'll
Yeah,
wait
Tega, what do you want to talk about? What's in your deep end?
Rogue One.
Yeah.
That was the first. I was there 9 in the morning watching it live streaming. The
I
whole
saw you on
conference.
social media being like, I'm sitting down here getting ready to watch it at work.
Yeah.
I mean, bosses are watching. That wasn't happening. I don't watch podcasts while I'm on air. That's not proper.
No, I watched last year's too. So going to it, I kind of knew what to expect when they did The Force Awakens. But this one I was more intrigued because I didn't know anything about this movie. I know a few things, but it's Star Wars, it's Lucasfilm. They don't tell you very much unless they want you to know something.
Especially with the new ones. They've been
Yeah.
they have drone chasers now on set.
Yeah,
So they're
exactly.
pretty hardcore.
So Kathleen Kennedy came out, Gareth Edwards, and it was really cool to hear from Gareth Edwards, the director of Rogue One. And you can tell, there's behind the scene rumors that they don't like the movie that he made, blah, 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 blah. But just hearing him and the way he talks about his movie and the way he, even between Kathleen Kennedy and the producers, you can tell.
They're all on board,
No
all
worries.
on the same page.
After that, I was like, I don't have any worries about this movie
And
at
they
all.
kind of shut everybody up about the reshoots. Remember when that was all over
Yeah,
the interwebs
yeah.
and everybody was reshoots in a movie? Since when?
50%, half the movie. Oh, okay.
It's all over exaggeration, but like I said, they're passionate about it. They're passionate about Star Wars. They're passionate about making good products. So I think we're all in for a treat. Something that we've never seen before in a Star Wars movie is going to happen in a Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be something completely different.
I really.
Like what?
Like just the feel of it, you know. It's like he said, he wanted to make it like a war movie.
Right.
And the sizzle reel that they showed, you can tell there's practical explosions. They're running along beside.
So
the
much
camera. It's
slow
very-
motion
I'm not going to say
goodness.
guerrilla style.
all the
because they're not-
slow motion
yeah.
goodness, and that was I wanted to touch on that. They put the wars back in Star Wars. Like there's
definitely.
like the beaches with the AT-ATs and everything, and people like it's going to be like almost like Saving Private Ryan in space.
Yeah.
Is what I'm kind of seeing with this. And there was one scene when we were talking about the slow-mo that I got goosebumps watching it. There's one where the main character, she's down and she's looking up and there's like a light opening up on her and then she just gets blasted with like steam.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
water.
is that going to be Vader out of a doorway?
Yeah.
Kind of epicness that's going to be happening there. And all of those thoughts started to process. And I just like, I was a little miffed we didn't see a trailer, but the sizzle reel did kind of subside
It
that.
kind of it still got you pumped,
Sates ya.
but it didn't. It told you nothing about the story. I think
That's right.
The only new things you learned about the story was Mads Mikkelsen, I think his name is playing Jyn Erso's dad,
Yeah.
and he creates something that the Empire wants. So what I can deduce from that is he creates kind of, I think, the big weapon on the Death Star, the
laser.
the laser that blows
Yeah.
up Alderaan. I think that's his creation. I don't think he wants it to be his creation.
Right.
But all these they brought out the cast, all the new characters and everything that you see. They kind of tell little bits about him, like the one guy's blind. The two Asian.
You also know he dies.
Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah, the guy who doesn't speak English kind of said his friend dies.
And she leans forward. She's just like, "We're just gonna leave it at that. Like, stop
Yeah,
talking."
Well,
please."
Gwendolyn Christie tries to stop right away,
Yeah.
and then I guess like the look on Alan Tucci's face was just like, "Oh my God,
I
the
say?
Disney snipers are like, take cover!"
Walks up there. He's in the bell tower.
But you find out they're Asian characters. They know of the Force,
But they
they're
don't-
not.
yeah.
They're not Jedi, but
No.
they believe in the Force, and I think they can kind of tune themselves to it a little bit.
Right.
But he's blind, and he's still going to be an awesome
And he can
karate-
see with the
I
Force.
know.
And he's
Like,
almost
how
going to be
cool is
Daredevil
that?
in that
Yeah.
sense, where it's
So
really
they
cool.
were awesome, and then Alan Tudyk you learn about the droid. He's an Imperial droid that's reprogrammed, but he sounds hilarious. That one scene they showed where they ask him,
Hold my
Jim,
bag?
hold my bag. He just like looks at him like, and he said like he's reprogrammed to speak his mind. I'm like, that's gonna be the character relief, but I imagine that it comes down to it and the fighting start, he's gonna be in there,
Yeah.
just busting skulls.
Yep.
And even just from what we saw with the sizzle reel and with that droid, like the effects and everything and the practicalities of the ones and the CGI of what they're using, it all looks even better than The Force Awakens. Like they're really stepping it up, and I'm happy that we're getting to a point now where people are going to start to realize that a Star Wars story isn't Episode 8.
Right.
because that's going to
Yeah.
confuse a lot of people when trailers.
Still a lot of people out there that are confused
For those of
about
you who
it. But
don't know, they promised that this movie basically ends 5 minutes before Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope
right,
starts.
yeah,
It's the
rolls
stealing
right
of
into
the
it.
Death Star. Should we say it? It's the stealing of the Death Star plans.
Yeah. Which they mentioned in episode 4, right?
Yeah.
So you'll see that, which is like I'm super excited that Disney's kind of giving us a more mature Star Wars as
Yeah.
well.
That's
Like
what
you
I'm
said,
waiting
like
for.
the wars in Star Wars, like we're going to see something that you haven't seen with the previous Star Wars, where it was kid friendly. Like this stuff is going to be gritty and dark, especially with Darth Vader coming back.
And
Let's
James
talk
Earl
about Darth
Jones.
Vader. I was mad because they kept showing the sizzle reel. I'm like, what's going on? What are they doing? Then I found out after we saw the sizzle reel 3 times. The people there saw the new Rogue One trailer.
Yep.
But I might have seen a little hand camera.
There's always one.
There's always
always
one guy's
one.
holding it like this. But at the end, you hear it. You hear Darth Vader's breathing, and you see his silhouette. And that was it. And it started shaking because the guy filming it shrieked like a little girl. He's like, "Ah!" I think I did
Like
too.
any of us would.
Yeah, I was right there. I'm like, yes. So to see him, but the new canon, reading all the new novels. Like me and Josh read the novels. This good.
I'm working on it.
And the comic books, you learn about how Darth Vader is post between episode 3 and episode 4, 5-ish around there.
Yeah.
He is not
Just
you think,
dark.
Like he is not.
He's out
you
of
think
it.
he's mean in episode 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah.
He's a whole
Nothing.
other
Yeah.
level before this.
Are we going to see a greater display of Darth Vader's powers in these movies? Do you
I
think?
hope so.
Because you know how you see
Well,
all, in
your
the
power-
prequels,
I think-
Yoda was jumping around like he was on a trampoline.
I
Are we
think-
going to see amped up Vader?
But
No.
he doesn't have anything to compare it to. He's not fighting
You don't.
Jedi. Not in this movie anyway, so he can just be like,
Well, not only that, but I mean, he's all machine. You're not going to see the Force lightning. He can't do
But-
that, right? I think we've seen what Darth Vader can do. Throw in the lightsaber, the
Yep.
Force chokes, and whatnot. I think you're just going to see just meaner Force chokes, meaner. Like he's just going to be
I
crushing
think it's
throats,
not
you
gonna- I
know,
think it's
throat
not gonna
hugs.
be- It's not going to be too adult, like we all want to see, just because I've
Right.
thought that before, but then they announced part of the new canon is the VR game for Darth Vader. Which is coming out, which they basically said they're writing it like a Darth Vader movie. It is
Yeah.
going to be a Darth Vader movie that you get to play. But what better way to display his power of
Yeah.
slicing everybody in half
Yeah.
than with a video game and doing it yourself? So that's why when I read that, I was like, hey, Rogue One, you might just see his immense presence. The power presence on the screen, which I'm still game for.
Okay, so then the second part was, I guess the big reveal was who's going to be playing young Han Solo.
Which wasn't a reveal.
Which wasn't
Which
revealed.
wasn't,
They
yeah.
confirmed it like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But it is. He told an interesting story though, and this is. I love the new Lucasfilm company. He literally said I was the first person to audition for this movie, and they saw 3,000 after me,
Sheesh.
and they still went with the first person.
The first guy.
Wow, so he...
That says a lot, I
Yeah.
think. They
has
could've
that look
they could've
as well.
Forgotten,
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have forgotten about him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he was the first one. There's been a few. But he is so good that he stayed in their minds.
Yeah.
The whole process. 3,000 people.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So with the age that they have for that actor, are they going to do, probably, I'm assuming the first movie that comes out is going to almost be like the introduction of how Han and Chewie met and stuff like that, and then
I
as
would
they
hope
go
so.
on and start doing all
I
the...
believe so. If they stick to like
At all about
the old canon, like he
Yeah.
was, he's in the Imperial Academy, sees what's going on, doesn't like it,
what we're up to.
helps to free some
Looking forward to
Wookiees.
Wookiee slaves.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Saves Chewie.
But I don't think
Life
they're gonna,
debt.
they'll pull a few things from it, but I think it's gonna be a completely new story. Which I'm fine with.
Which, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
As long as they don't teeny bopper it up too much. I still want it with these anthologies and with the spin-offs and the character development movies. I still want them to be their own, because now with Han Solo, we can explore different parts of the galaxy that we don't have to be in for Star Wars.
Maybe we'll
Right.
see a lot of good smuggler stuff, bounty hunter
Yeah.
stuff with this, and
Yeah.
maybe they'll focus on that, which I would love to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because they promised that in Rogue One, but I think that was just a rumor.
Well, and all
So maybe
the
they'll shift it
people
to
that
Han Solo.
all the people that he's been involved with throughout the course of episode 4, 5, and 6 comes back. You have Jabba, you have Greedo, you have all those.
Boba Fett.
You have all those smugglers
know.
and bounty hunters. They're gonna come back.
We know from the first Star Wars Aftermath novel, Boba Fett's alive.
Yep.
And well,
Yeah.
they find it. It just shows a little excerpt about a guy saying he found acids marked up Mandalorian
Mandalorian armor. Yeah.
And in Return of the Jedi, he says Boba Fett Boba Fett where? So he knows who Boba Fett is,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
And those two,
Just been them.
they're like the complete
Long
polar
history.
opposites. There's a long history. of those
They
two.
could almost do a little bit with that with the story as well, or maybe there was a time with young Han Solo where him and Boba Fett weren't at odds with one another, and they could
Maybe worked a job or two.
They could have worked a job, taking some
Somebody
bounties for
possibly-
Jabba. Like, I think that there's some really cool directions they could take with that, and especially if they're spinning off other people. Like I've heard Yoda, and I've heard everybody else is going to be getting a
I don't know
movie
if I wanna see a
too.
Yoda movie.
No, not really, because I don't want to hear that talking inflection for 2 hours.
I want to see. Let's go back to
Fair
the
enough.
old Republic.
Yes.
10,000 years ago, when you have
Darth Bane.
1,000 Jedi and
Darth
whoa,
Bane.
what's that? 1,000 Jedi against 1,000 Sith.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to see that fight
Yeah.
with lightsabers?
Well, and that's the thing too. You can cast completely new people for Old Republic stuff, right? Like that. The sky's the limit way back there.
You don't have to worry about the stories with Force Awakens Episode 8 and 9,
Yeah,
the
it
anthology.
doesn't affect any of it.
It's completely, they can imagine and write something completely unique in stories and explore places maybe we haven't gone yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, that's
That's
if
all
we got the
speculating.
writing. That's probably what would happen.
Lucasfilm.
Get in contact with us.
Give us a little crack at this. I tell you.
I also got with the Rebels trailer for season 3.
I'm so excited.
Sparked my interest. I haven't watched.
Haven't watched it.
Rebels. I was watching Clone Wars, and until season 3, it doesn't really get good, and it was too kiddie for me. I started season 1 today, so yay! And I was actually that first episode sucked me
You
in.
know what?
If you're not watching Rebels, you're not a true Star Wars fan.
I'll just
get off the
panel.
I remember when
man.
Rebels was first announced, right after Clone Wars, and Kurt and I were talking about it, and I was like, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of just these rebels, no Jedi. Like, I need lightsabers. I need the
Kane's
Jedi
kind of a Jedi,
action.
from what
So
I
we didn't
saw.
know.
Still get it.
We
though.
didn't know about this at the time, so I was
Yeah.
like, Kurt, I don't know about this.
But as the true Star Wars fan, I'm like, rest easy, Josh.
It's easy.
Rest your head. It's okay.
So and then all of a sudden, like, you know, we're watching it weekly. We nerd out about
I
it.
was almost more excited for the Rebels season 3 trailer than I was for the Rogue One sizzle reel.
Well, and that's only because the way season 2 ends. Obviously, we can't really talk
We don't
about
wanna
it with
spoil it for this
Darren.
guy.
Hey, no, I'm the kind of guy who likes to read synopsises of movies and things ahead of time.
The
That's for
season
myself.
2 finale, I think, left Kurt and I, like, we didn't watch it together, but I was just like, what just happened? Did you see this, Kurt? Like, can you believe this?
I know, but
So many things.
what we get from season 3 is one of the characters is going a little dark.
Dark, yeah.
Some characters returning. Darth Maul is still back.
Yeah, he's
And
old,
he is.
but he's still crafty.
Oh, he's craftier ever. And Grand Admiral Thrawn is officially introduced.
Into the new Star Wars canon,
He was
yeah.
only involved in the old books, and everybody's like, "Oh, Grand Admiral Thrawn is like the best trilogy of books Star Wars has ever written," and he's not gonna be in the new canon. Boo, Disney! They've put him in here, and now
Disney's just like,
shut
oh,
your
what was that,
face. Shut
everybody?
your faces.
Yeah, suck it.
And I was reading about him because, like I said, I like to spoil myself. And he conducts psychological warfare where he'll tear you apart from the inside and make
He
yourself.
is
He
the
knows
smartest
his
mind
enemy.
in the,
Yeah.
in the Empire.
Yeah.
Like you think you're 2 steps ahead of him, he's 5 steps in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
So to get Grand Admiral Thrawn,
And again, like, we're watching the trailer, and I'm like, well, who's this guy? They're talking about the Imperials bringing in this guy, and I'm like, well, who is it? See a silhouette, camera's panning in, and he lifts his head, and it's blue skin, red eyes. I was like, get out of town. That is dynamite.
Rebels season 3 is gonna be so.
So now that he's officially part of the Star Wars canon, how long do you think it's going to be until we see Thrawn in live action?
I hope soon because I think the biggest speculation in Star Wars right now is who is Snoke. Nobody knows who his Snoke is, and
Not even books, comics,
books,
everything.
the
Like, it's
newest book-
leading up,
Yeah, the
but
newest book they throw in little hints, but they could be throwing you curveballs. The way who says it's not Grand Admiral Thrawn? All you saw was a projection of somebody.
That's true.
You don't know who this person is. That's the best thing about Star Wars. I need to know this, but they're not.
You'll
telling
never
me.
find
The
out.
other thing is dipping the worm in just enough that I'm like, please. I'm just keep nibbling, but I just can't get it.
And the mortality rate of Thrawn is like hundreds of years or something, isn't it? A very long
doesn't-
time.
yeah.
So he could very well show up in Rogue One. Or in one of those anthology series as well.
Well, I mean, obviously in the old canon, like the old stuff, Thrawn happens to come throughout episode 4 and 5. Like, he's tracking those rebels down. So it does line up time-wise with the cartoon, like the current cartoon, into the current movies. Like, but again, I think we would have. He's not going to play a big part, or he's not going to play a part at all in the grand scheme of things. Episodes 8, 9, whatever. You're going to see those other movies.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it would be dynamite.
If I called that right here, I'm gonna be the greatest nerd ever.
Timestamp it just to bring back for future reference.
Yeah.
So then moving forward, a lot of people were a little let down with Star Wars Celebration this year. Like I said, there was supposed to be a Rogue One trailer. Star Wars Celebration last year was huge. So much stuff dropped on that I think everybody's anticipation for this year was that big things were going to happen, that maybe we would see like the trailer for Rogue One, maybe we'd get a title for Episode 8, maybe more things would drop for what the future of the franchise holds, and we didn't really, aside from books and cartoons, like the biggest whoa moment in the fans from the panels was the Season 3 trailer for Rebels.
It's true.
Which is kind of sad when your Disney XD TV show gets a bigger reaction than your blockbuster movie franchise.
I'll give you that one, but every little aspect that I get of Star Wars that's new, I just
pleases them.
It's like the rest of the world just is not there anymore. I focus on that, and I'm like, okay, where can I pull this from? This book or this comic? Where does it lead? Where does this lead? Where does this lead? Or but I kind of forget those things. But now that you bring them up, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to see Episode 8.
I think.
Could you imagine if you would have flown to London?
I think like last year, obviously, it wasn't Disney's first year with Star Wars, but it was Disney's first year where they could actually. Here's something for the new Episode 7. Here's all these new action figures, books, comics. Like, they were rolling out the red carpet for everything, letting us know that everything's connected. That's a high bar. That's a high bar to kind of match year after year. And so I think, even though we're a little disappointed, going forward, this might be what to expect.
Yeah.
I think the sad part is it's Star Wars now. It's a proven success. Now that Disney has it, and I don't think you're going to see him at San Diego Comic-Con. You're not going to see him. I don't think you'll even see him at D23.
D23.
Oh, really?
And so
All
I
the
don't
Disney
think
stuff.
It might just be out of the blue. They'll be like, oh, here's the title for Episode 8. It's not going to be the anticipation of waiting. It's Star Wars Celebration. Oh, it's It's Comic-Con. They're going to announce something. I don't think
they'll
you're
just
gonna
at 10
get that.
p.m. they'll just send out a tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
That just says
Like 10 p.m. on a Wednesday.
They don't have to.
Right, they don't. Yeah.
It's Lucasfilm as Disney. They're like, we already got them hooked.
It's just gonna be Episode 8 in the Search for the Jedi Temple.
Allegedly. But that is part of I read about Episode 8 when Rian Johnson, the director, was there talking about Episode 8. Luke said, it starts up. They said that was one of the biggest pieces of news. It's like there's no time gap.
Yeah, like it starts with her handing him the lightsaber. Like there's
and
no
maybe Luke will say
he
something.
He says one of the places they shot on film was for the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about the Jedi Temple.
Well, I think it'd be good because we have now Kylo's heading back to go see Supreme Leader, and he's going to finish his training. Yeah, and and then we also have Rey now. She'll be doing her training, so I think it's going to be almost the training coming into your own, realizing your powers.
Montage.
Everybody had a montage. So I think that's going to be, they're going to try. I hope they don't do what they did with that and mimic A New Hope and then mimic Empire. I hope that now that they've brought it back, they can forge their
The
own.
only thing they mimic about Empire is they drop that bomb on you. I'm not even gonna say Luke, I am your father, because that's not right.
No.
It's
Which?
no, I am your father moment.
I think they will. But like I said, I've told you my bomb, and you just
not
like
Rey's parents.
No, I don't
it's
either.
Something we're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
Because they're.
Oh, it's up here.
need.
I've thought about it. I know
I watched The Force Awakens again last night just to get psyched for this
I
again.
watched it 2 nights ago.
Right?
For the 8th
Because it came out on
time.
Netflix. Why the hell wouldn't I watch it? There is a scene where the first time Kylo Ren takes off his helmet and he has Rey in the restraints.
Yep.
Then when he takes it off, she realizes that he's not a hideous beast underneath the helmet like she says, and realizes Adam Driver, who's not a bad-looking guy, that
a big
she
schnoz.
gives him a look. Yeah, he does have quite the schnoz. But she gives him a look, and it's almost just like, oh, hot damn. So I have a theory that Kylo and Rey are going to.
I've heard of rumors of Rey maybe going bad, and again,
I don't think she's going to go
it's
bad. I
Luke.
think she's going to turn Kylo good.
Oh, I've heard that too. But I know, like, everybody talks about Rey's lineage, right? Everybody
Everybody wants
wants
to
to,
be Luke.
know where
I hope
Rey
it's
comes
not.
from.
I want it out of left field. I want it so bad that it's just gonna.
But she remembers her parents because she says, "My parents are coming back for me," and there's that scene where she remembers
Did
them
she say
leaving.
parents?
My family, I think, is the wording she uses. But there's a scene in the beginning where it shows young Rey and it shows a spaceship.
You know what else
taking
could be
off
the
out.
family? The Force.
Midichlorians.
Force, baby.
Don't you dare.
Don't say the M word. Don't say the M word.
If you had to rate Star Wars Celebration, let's give it a rating on what we anticipated it would be. What would you give it out of, let's go 10?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
You did love it. You
for
love all
Rebels-
that news.
Just for Rebels and Rogue One.
Actually, I'm not that far behind. Yeah, 7.5. Like I said, like Rebels really took it to me. The sizzle reel.
Yeah.
And then like the rest, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
I love reading about it. You know, like I'm never gonna be disappointed about it. So, could there have been more? Could there have been more meat and potatoes? Of course. I'm never satisfied. Give me more.
Right.
But what we got, I was happy.
I go ahead and give it a 7, I think, just because I anticipated, based off what we saw with last year's Star Wars Celebration, I thought it was going to have more and there'd be more big, oh my goodness, reveals.
No.
So going into it, I think that I had overcompensated it in my own brain and then let myself down, like a lot of people do when it comes to movies or anything. So that's what I would say. That I would give it a 7. It was still great. It was, 2-3 days of Star Wars, and we got the sizzle reel, which reminded me of the sizzle reel from A Force Awakens, gave me those same feels where it was just the behind the scenes, seeing that one, that like almost primate looking alien on the gunship
Oh
firing.
yeah, just giggling.
Yeah, and like we got the animatronics, we got to see all that. It seems like it's almost the way that they're making Rogue One is it's going to look like it was filmed in the 70s.
I think they're making them
have like
all.
that. Yeah.
Is that right?
After like reading about the panels, listening to them, the collaboration involved, like Ryan Johnson met with Colin Trevorrow, who's directing Episode 9, and Gareth Edwards to all be on the same page.
All on the
like,
same
this
page,
is
yeah.
where we're going forward. We're gonna write this. He says, I'm gonna go down to this room and talk to Gareth, who's also
Like,
writing
they check
Rogue
in
One.
regularly
They check in
with each other, yeah.
regularly. And Colin is writing Episode 9, or helping write Episode 9, and he's constantly talking back with Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan's talking is part of the books. He's talking with the authors of the books. So it's a whole collaboration. This whole company is a collaboration
That's
of
good
making
to
the
know.
best possible product that they can. So I think
They learned from the
Lucas-
prequels and they know
yeah.
what the fans want, and because they have so many great stories, like you said, in all of the graphic novels, all the one-shots, all of the comic strips, all of the books. They have so much information and so many stories to pull from that it'd be stupid not to.
Oh
I think
yeah.
rest assured, Lucasfilm is in good hands.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna get high
And George
quality
Lucas
product.
is laughing while he counts his money. And
4.2 billion. Just Scrooge McDuck diving into the
Remember, he's this
pennies.
tall though, so he's
I have. Don't touch.
So those were our thoughts on the Star Wars Celebration, what took place, and there's probably lots of amazing Star Wars stuff that's going to be coming up. And we're going to keep doing stuff like this with Comic-Con. We're going to do recaps.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Oh! So we have lots more of these videos doing with the Gentleman Show. We never even
It's the
branded
Gentleman
ourselves.
Show.
The
Yay!
Gentleman Show. So make sure you like Real Reviews on Facebook, Twitter. Also follow you guys on YouTube as well. Darren on Aaron VO, Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube as well. And we're just going to keep these videos coming as long as there are geek things to talk about, which I'm assuming is until we're all dead.